Hello, everybody. Nothing worse than oh, sorry about that. There's my pretty face. All right. Hey, Bloodbound, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Um, appreciate everybody who could come out today. It is fucking Wednesday. I tell you what, it is. Yesterday was more Monday than Monday was. Monday was actually nice for me, so it is what it is. So. The announcement you see in the stream elements is true. We do have a class announcement for those of you who've been following on our Discord, our Slack channels, and other sites that I might have mentioned it to. There you go. You can join our Discord there. I actually made it a community announcement as well. We are going to start on next Tuesday at this time, around this time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, a reverse engineering course. A reverse engineering course with malware analysis involved. Tanisha, who is CyberSec Diva on Twitter, has been working with me to get some curriculum set up. So she's going to be running the class. I'm just going to be a spectator, if you will, a sideline, person doing some color. Yeah, Bloodbound. I'm very excited too. Malware analysis is something that's always kind of been of an interest to me. Reverse engineering is always something that I can't even say I've done reverse engineering. If somebody were to ask me, I've ran strings a couple times on some stuff. Yeah, exactly, Bloodbound. Yeah, so I'm going to be on the call. I will try to do moderation as well as do the exercises. So one of the things that I told Tanisha that I was going to do was not run VMs and malware on my streaming box. So I have borrowed my daughter's hand-me-down Surface Pro 3, and I'm going to put everything we need on it. There will be some prerequisites. We're trying to make this as cheap as possible for everybody. So the idea is, if you don't have a virtual machine tool like VMware Workstation, we're going to try to set everything up on VMware Player. We're going to be using Remnux. I believe a couple of the other prerequisites was going to modern.ie and downloading one of the test Windows 10 boxes there, and an Ubuntu or some sort of Linux ISO. So we're going to be trying to work through real malware samples. There's no shortage of them. VMware, the free version, not cracked, by the way. So Bloodbound, yeah. Tanisha has never had a good experience with VirtualBox. I have to say that I kind of agree with her. I've never had a real positive experience with that. So, if you can, if you know enough about VirtualBox to be dangerous, we're cool with that. But what we're going to try to not do is go, have somebody come in and go, oh, I'm using Zen Hypervisor and I can't get my networking to work and whatever. And I'm like, if you use that tool, you should know how to use that tool. I had the same problem when I was doing SANS courses. We had 3 people in my class who did VMware Workstation. We had one guy come in wanting to use Hyper-V. And I'm like, it's not a supported configuration. So, and the problem was he kind of worked for the company that make that or has that embedded in their OS. So I'm like, he spent 3 of the 5 classes that I did of that course just trying to get his networking to work. Before I told him, I was like, look, I can't spend 3 hours troubleshooting for you. I've got other people who've paid $4,000 to be here. So you're going to need to figure it out or whatever. So he was the only one that gave me a less than 5-star review. He was also not there to take the exam. He just wanted to take take the class. And I was like, if you're not going to take the SANS exam, why are you taking the class? But he did. So anyway, we're going to use VMware Workstation, VMware Player, Remnux, which Remnux is a Remnux. It is a Linux tool for malware analysis. Ding, 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 ding. The good thing is it's very free. and you can download it. So I'm going to be running with Tanisha through a session 0.5 on Monday. We're basically going to do session 1 of the class, but I think as long as you can run VMware Workstation Bloodbound on, VMware Workstation, you get the license for Windows or Linux, and then you get the VMware Fusion for Mac. I don't think we're going to be doing anything overly nuts on this. Um, so, VMware Player is free. I think there's some real, I think the only real pain in the ass on VMware Player is that it doesn't do snapshotting, but I have used it in the past. And what you can do is you can make a VM and then copy the entire contents of that VM directory to like a backup if you wanted to, make a snapshot. And do it that way if you wanted to. There are ways to get around that if you're using the free version, but VMware Workstation is still free from what I can tell, and it does allow you to run at least one VM on there, which is I think all we need. But like I said, we're going to run real malware. The first class is going to be lab setup and what have you, because we want everybody to. Yeah, I'll tell you, I had to bypass USB connections by getting into the files. Ridiculous. Yeah. Um, Bloodbound, I had the same problem with some of the older, what is that? Some of the older VulnHub stuff. Some of the old VulnHub stuff, like the Chioptrix stuff. I had more than a few issues with some of the configuration files there, where I ended up just having to blow away anything that said network on it, in terms of connections, and then allow the VM to remake the connections, because it was an old VMware configuration file, so it would have issues. But I think I did a couple of those back here in the streams earlier. So it wasn't perfect, but yeah, if you just delete all of the networking connections in that VM, it's fine. But yeah, so what the other thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we get out the list of ingredients that we're going to need to set up our lab. Remnux VM, so you'll download the VM. You'll download the ISOs. I mean, the last thing we want people to do, and I mentioned that to Tanisha when we were in the class, was, or in our meeting yesterday, was that, we start a lab and nobody's downloaded anything, we're going to have 45 minutes to an hour worth of, somebody, hey, what am I missing something? I need to download the file. So, the virtual appliances are available here. These are going to take a little bit of space and a little bit of hard drive and a RAM. So, make sure you plan accordingly. There's VirtualBox OVAs and general OVAs. So you can always grab those if you'd like. And the passwords are Remnux and malware. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I'm just a vessel by which Tanisha is going to, stream out her content. So I'm hoping everybody will come and join us. And so this is, we're giving so to be fair, we're going to be doing the basic stuff over the course of about 4 sessions. And then I'm going to be out on holiday from the end of July through, let's see, 29th, I think 29 July through the 15th. So yeah, so I'm going to miss like 3 Tuesdays. And what we'll do is we'll just start up the intermediate and advanced sessions after we get back on the 15th. So like, I'll miss 2 sessions. But we are planning on, we being Tanisha, is going to be teaching us more advanced techniques, intermediate and advanced techniques, and those will probably have a nominal fee connected to them. We'll probably use our Eventbrite that we have to make sure that people have access to those, and make it so that, oh, hey, it worked. Okay. See, I'm happy now because freaking alerts actually freaking work now. So thank you, Valifar Zero. Also, thank to Valsecki, sorry, Silent Assassin 185, the Black Cloak, Black Pearl, Flight Quest 6489, Zayumat, and Void. underscore 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 underscore. I think those are the Apex Legend ones that I got off of Stream Elements. They're free, so I actually I changed to those because I was like, well, the other ones didn't work, and I didn't exactly know why. And I think it was because when I added the new alerts to my screen, I set the resolution to 800 by 600, which made them on the, they're normally supposed to be sized for 1080p. So it either the alert was actually up here off the screen, off the overlay, and they wouldn't work. I could hear the noise, I just couldn't see anything. So um, I put them back in, set them to 1080, cropped them properly, and now they show up on the screen. So there we go. I learned things. Um, so hey, Super Lolly, what's up? I'm gonna mark all those as red. But yeah, welcome if you're new to joining us. Maybe you saw the announcement on LinkedIn or on the Black Girls Hack Teams channel. So we're gonna start that up next week. I have a Monday meeting with Tanisha, and then we're gonna do that on Tuesday. So she also has a few surprises for us as well for items or resources that we'll be able to get access to. So that's pretty cool. Kind of a freebie for folks. Ooh, I'm blasting that Focusrite out, aren't I? Let me turn that down a little bit so that I'm not up in the red so much. All right. So, yeah. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and ideally, you'll have access to the VODs for these once we start recording these. If you subscribe via either your Prime sub or you're just a regular subscriber to our channel, and we of course thank all of our subscribers. So there you go. All right. Let me see. What else did I say? Hack the Box Academy. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm going. Uh, so after the last time we did the sqlmap stuff, we're at the finale right now with the skills assessment, and I actually did try to do a little bit of mapping of that application, and I read the hint, of course. So it said first navigate the website to find potential attack vectors, then try to use various bypassing techniques you learn to get SQL injection working. I did do a little asking and looking on the forums about some of these things, and so I have a rough idea on what I need to do, but I have no idea on how to get the solution. So what they, um, so yeah, basically they said you need to run burp. There's some things on the website that will allow you to do something, and you just need to enumerate. And I'm like, okay, great. Typical try harder kind of stuff from the OSCP crowd there. So, but we know that the table is called final underscore flag. And the funny thing is, I bet if I just spammed the site with my sqlmap, probably would have gotten the flag that I needed for that. But we'll see. I was also checking out Tiberius's stream earlier today. That was actually pretty good. Okay, what do we got? Oh, that's our Slack. That's our Slack. I want to pull the HTTP viewer over here so that I have it available and open. There we go. All right. So yeah, what it told me was to use. Somebody said, you got to use Burp Suite. There's parts of the site. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking too fast because I'm kind of nervous because I know that this is not going to go well for me. So we will go ahead and go 46, 101, 28, 14, 32,573. And it was weird because when it loaded up an actual, what looks like a site. And I was like, oh, wait, I accidentally went to a different site. And then I had to look at the IP address. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like an e-retailer site. So the but the idea is they want you to poke around, and there's other links and areas on the site where you can look around through. It's okay. Do whatever you got to do to make things run as smooth as possible. Life can be unpredictable. Thank you so much, Bloodbound. I appreciate the vote of confidence there. So there's various things here. There's a shopping cart. So ideally, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a way to get a user ID or figure out what we can do to enumerate users to gain access to database website things. So anything pretty much with a text box might be what we need to get to. Anything with a text box with input where we submit things, maybe something with a username. It doesn't have to always be a username, but it could be anything with a text box like the contact form, if you will. So, we have username, your name, email, subject message, send message. So, and again, all I know is that somebody suggested using the site with burp so that you can gain, some knowledge of what's going on. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. And, if you follow the methodology of a pen test, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start up burp. You're going to proxy all your traffic through that. So I'm going to start up me some burp. Where's my, aren't I supposed to have a fancy ass, let's just go down here to the menu button. Burp suite. There it is. BURP suite. Oh, 1 second. Speaking of things not going smoothly. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So your Jerry appears to be 13.0.5.1, has not been fully tested, and you may experience problems. All right. Well, we'll just play it by ear. Worst thing comes if worst comes to worst, we'll just move on to something else, and I will figure out sqlmap final flag in my own time, and we'll make that work. So, haha! I love that. I have alarms now. Thank you, Hacksering Pirate. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. Sorry, it's the little things, y'all. It's the little things. It's like I'm a real streamer now. I'm a grown-up boy. Okay, close. Let me see. All right. Burp default. God bless, man. I'm all grown up. So if the following thing works now, things like bits and cheers and subscriptions will also work. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It's fine. This is free of charge. I just, let everybody know. Subscriptions will not go unnoticed. But yeah, just oh, you know what? So I also have our music on. Let me kick that up. I'm a real life boy. All right, so I got my music up thanks to Chill Hop Music. Got some fat beats going on here. So yeah, you can boink. If y'all can hear that, if it's too loud, just let me know, and I'll do what I can to unmake it loud. All right. All right, so we've got what I want to do is I want to turn off interception, because I would like to actually go through this without having to stop every second and go, oh, interception is on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to collect input, right? I'm just going to collect input. And, obviously every time I make an HTTP connection, I'd have to go through and go, oh, look, Mozilla bullshit. And I don't want to have to worry about all that. So go to the target proxy. So we'll see the things as they come along on the wire here. So I'll close this Wappalizer bit. All right, so I'll refresh the page. We should be starting to, oh man. Oh, duh. All right, sorry. it would help if I turned on my burps. There we go. All right, so now we're burping. Now we're burping good. All right, let me refresh the page. There we go. Now we're getting some stuff. Now we're getting stuff. Okay, there we go. You, sir, are in the right place. Obviously, there are other creators. Oh, I appreciate that, Bloodbound, and thank you so much, Hacker Pirate. We are all noobs here, so come hang out. We will not hack your Facebook accounts for you or your exes, so just something to think about. You know, we also are very much ethical in our hacking, so we don't do things without permission. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Ideally, and this is so somebody did not. It's obvious that web development is not the person who created this forte, because the screen when you hit Control A, when I hit Control, well, last time I hit Control A it worked, but the links are white on a really bright background. So I thought what I would do is block the element here and create a block so that we can actually see the links on the page. Well, so Hacker Pirate, what we're doing is there is a SQL injection on the page. What I have to do is find out where it is located, because the hint that it gives you for the site is very much vague. First, navigate the site to find potential attack vectors, then try to use various security bypassing techniques you learn to get SQL injection working. With the other exercises that we did, I don't know if you're aware or familiar with these, it was pretty straightforward. It was like you get an HTTP request, and then you get a an ID equals or something like that, and you can run that then. I ran through with the network inspector, the website inspector on here, and I did not find anything during the inspection of the network issues. And some of the research that I did on the hackTheBox forums, somebody had said, hey, you just got to map the site, use the site as it was intended with burp, and it will give you the requests. There's a couple of requests there. There's a field potentially that you can use to do that. So I was just poking around through these various links. So like we click on this and go to the shopping cart. So now you can buy some nice $4.95 shoes. Proceeding to checkout, if you will. You can see that we're collecting your requests. There's a couple of different domains here, thankfully. All right, so billing details. My FERT name, obviously FERT name. QA did not get to look at this site before that happened. I'm going to block this element as well. There we go, so we can actually see the icons and the links. All right, FERT name is Joe Bob. Joe Bob. Last name Smith. Country is France. I better not, because I don't know what the postal codes and shit is over there. So let's just make it United States. Come on, man. Oh, well, okay. France then. 1, 2, 3, Paris Street, City, Paris. I'm sorry this is coming through kind of shady like that. Get that green bit off of there. Postal codes. Actually, when I was running this earlier, the postal codes for France are very similar to the United States. So like, I think the postal code for France is like 75222, which was also the same as like Carrollton, Texas, or something like that. But they use a 5-digit postal code as well. So phone number, we'll use 858, which is a San Diego one. 123 5555. email address, bob@bob.com. And then, okay, so we're going to create an account because I've never bought on MiniShop before. So ideally what should happen when we create the account is this is going to send with the form all this information and hopefully send us back a nice message here. So, you know what? I did not see anything in the stuff that I'd already looked at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all, and I'm going to clear these out because what I'd like to do is to kind of have somewhat of a cleaner environment when I submit this to see what comes up when I do, say, PayPal. We're going to read and accept. And so I'm going to click create an account. Okay, so that looks like that didn't work. I have a bunch of images, but I don't have any requirements. So something didn't work here. The request didn't go through. Maybe I do a direct bank transfer. Okay, that didn't work either. It's really weird. Can we ship to a different address? What happens when you do that? Ship to a different address. Well, maybe the checkout is not where we need to be. Maybe it's a different site. I think I've filled in everything properly. So check payment. Let's try check payment. Pull this off to the side here so I can see what the fuck is going on. I don't want, you know, in some cases the screen tearing and the screen division is kind of painful. So. All right, so we'll do that. 1 second. What's up? Sure, what time? Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, bye. Oh, God damn it. So let me see. We're going to be cutting the discussion a little short tonight because my wife wants to have dinner. So there we go. All right. So I'm going to, these are the two areas that I found that have had any kind of input areas. So I'm going to attempt to use these to see if test and test message. And what I'm hoping is that this, either the contact form or the, you know, send message thing is going to give me, okay. So that gave me more than the checkout form. So that's kind of cool. That is more information than I got when I did that. So if they've made this easy enough, then, okay. So let me see, we have parameters here. Okay. So that's a good, see, what do we have in terms of that? Request headers. So we have user agent, connections closed. Okay. Response headers. We're not, I think we need the request headers. And try hack me if I'm not mistaken. It was in the contact form. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I have contact.html. We did the request. The response came back. It's been a while since I've completed it. Yeah. Okay. So let me see. contact.html request. No. And there's quite a bit of stuff in these in this area. So the fact that this one said params on it means that there's got to be some kind of parameter that I'm not seeing in this somewhere. Let me see here. Let me maximize this. There we go. All right, let me see. Okay, so we have get contact. I'm gonna look at something else here. Yeah, it's really weird. So this one has a question mark. Is that could be why it thinks there's parameters there? Because it looks like there's some spacing issues here, right? Checkout.html. Yeah, see, contact.html looks different. I'm thinking maybe that Burp believes that there's parameters because there's a question mark. So, Let me see what this says over here. Okay. That's nothing. I want to investigate that, but let's go over here. Contact. There's a question mark there with a space. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Let me see. I was going copy as a curl command. All right, so we copied that as a curl command. We're gonna open up bash. We're gonna that's probably because I had it too close to the microphone on my face. All right, so we're gonna go Control Shift V. Oh, yep. Okay, there we go. There's a. All right. What the hell? Okay, so there's that. Oh, okay, so that's different. Is it Control B? Yeah, there we go. Something got all janky on that, didn't it? Again, you know, you don't. Okay, yeah, there's just something messed up here. I'm gonna. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm gonna pull this back up and make it pretty. All right, so we're pulling. Now you could also grab this request from the web inspector UI just to make it easier. Not sure. I hope that all the dash I's and all that stuff doesn't screw anything up. That sqlmap. All right. So we go Control E to go to the end. I'm going to go dash batch because I don't want it to ask me a bunch of freaking questions. Dump dash trying to keep an eye out for my nope. Okay, so the table should have been final flag. I'm going to try running that. We'll see what happens. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's what I was afraid of. All right. So I am going to close burp because if it is in the contact form, such as what Hacker Pirate said, I'm going to turn off burp and I should be able to refresh the page after I turn on Web Inspector. Web inspectors, network, reload. I did like the way it formatted the requirements for that. I just want you all to know that I'm going to catch hell for being late to dinner. So I just want to say I love you all. And if I end up dead, you will know why. Because my wife has probably murdered me severely there. So content, contact. Is contact with an question mark. Yeah, that's really weird. Well, she told me she had to go through Walgreens to get that to get some stuff. So all right, you know what? I'm going to do this one more time, and if it doesn't work, oh, I've lost it. Okay, I can just hit the up arrow. All right, I'm gonna get rid of all of that other stuff because the problem is the. Oh wait, Control B. There we go. I don't know the S, the K, and the I do. It should have been, there should have been a URL there. Oh, wait. The I didn't give me the right answer, so it would be single quote HTTP. It is HTTP, right? Yeah, HTTP. :// I used to have a Tesla, so I'll be able to drive, 150 miles an hour on the highway to get to my wife, and I'll just, tell her there was some traffic or some shit. Unless she's watching the stream. Hi, honey. Contact. It's contact.html. And then there was a space afterwards. So there's a space afterwards. So I have no guarantee this is going to work. Fucking, I hate you so much. Let me see. Copy as curl. Paste. Yeah, see, I mean, this is so much. Yeah, and see, there's a little thing right there. So, all right, you know what? I'm going to go with this. For some reason, it doesn't show the question mark after. But yeah, see, I don't know why burp is all janky with the extra bits up at the top. So all it does is serve to confuse and frighten me, and you know what that means, folks. ISQ or sqlmap, sqlmap. All right, and then Shift E all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna remove the cache control. I don't need that, you motherfucker. I don't think I need that one either. Just make sure I don't kill anything else. -- dump, -- batch. -T, final flag, go. Super retro monkey hyper go. Oh. Don't understand. Unable to retrieve page content. Error codes during run. 304 not modified 1 times. The problem is you don't get a forum where somebody you can ask somebody questions during the freaking tests. So this may be I'm gonna have to. I hate to do this to y'all, but I'm gonna have to cut it a little short today. I need to go to dinner. I'm going to do some research on this one. I'm going to not try to cheat as if I can keep from it. I'm going to take as many screenshots as I can, but hopefully the next time we go through this, I will have this solved. Otherwise, I'm just going to, talk it through with as many people as I can and see what we can do to make that happen. I do apologize. Normally, I'm on here for an hour and a half, and I have blocked an hour and a half, but unfortunately, time and wife wait for no man. I'm going to, though, try to spread the wealth by, following up and rating somebody who might be on. I hope Tiberius is on. He was on earlier when I was on. Tiberius is still on, so I'd like to raid Tiberius if y'all will be so kind as to join me there. Raid at, and it is 0x. He's doing a lot of great work. He's actually doing some, he's actually ironically doing some Portswigger stuff. So yeah, you can come and join us. Woo! Oh my goodness, infinite inclusion. So I do appreciate everybody coming on for the time that I was on. I'm going to try to get back here on Thursday-ish and Friday, and then we'll do something this weekend as well. So yeah, I do appreciate everybody getting on tonight, and we're going to go ahead and raid Tiberius here. Go. Invalid username. Okay, all right. So /raid 0x TIB3RI US. There we go. Raid's created. Cool. But yeah, I will hook up with y'all in the near future, and I will hopefully have this solved by the time I stream again. So have a great day, y'all. See you later. And raiding now.